Brice, you guys are leading the nation in sacks. Through 5 games, tied at 21 with Boise State. Obviously, there's a lot of season left to go, but what does it feel to hear that, to know that almost halfway through the season, you guys are accomplishing that goal?
I mean, we didn't expect nothing more from us. Like, we expect every week to go out there and put it, like, be our best. So anything under that is just, we sell ourselves short. So, like, we don't look at ourselves as we want to be the best in G5. Like, we want to be the best in the nation as a defense. And that's from sacks, TFLs, takeaways. We want to be the best.
You know, there was, we were just talking to Jaden about the cut down on penalties, and he said discipline was a lot going into the week. And obviously with the defensive line, we would see that aggressive nature. Sometimes the penalties creep up. You guys were able to control it on Thursday. What went into that? What went into y'all controlling that?
Just like Jaden said, like, we just came together. Like, we realized losing those last 2 games against Arizona State and Sam Houston, we had to change, like, in some aspect. So we was like, that's like insanity. Like, we was doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And we had to change, like, our different perspective on things. It's like, we didn't want to take away the physicality aspect of everything, but we knew also we had to be, like, more disciplined, locked in on everything.
You know, you've been getting in there with Ben Bell sidelined. You even got in there and got a sack. It seemed like you did his arrow shoot thing.
Yeah.
Was that a shout out to Ben Bell?
Yeah, like, me and Ben, like, I got here in January, so, like, Ben was out with, like, surgery and all that, you know, from last season. And, like, just him getting back this season, like, we was late night, summer, working. So, like, seeing him down, I just felt like that week I had to play for him. So, like, when I did the arrow, that was a testament from him, you know, getting me better over the summer, showing that, like, everything we work for, even though you down right now, I got you.
You know, Brice, this defensive line, almost like the wide receiver room, really talented with a bunch of people just getting after the quarterback. Just what makes this group so special?
Just like Jada said too, like, we play free. Like, when I came here, I was big on just, you know, being myself. And here I'm allowed to be myself and showcase that on the defense and do it the correct way. So that was the biggest thing.
You know, coming from Garner-Webb up in North Carolina, just what's that transition like? You know, you're playing FCS football now, you're kind of here in Texas, you know, playing in Group of 5, you know, you're playing on ESPN and all that stuff.
At the end of the day, it's football. At the end of the day, no matter how you put it, FCS, FBS, I just feel like I gotta go out there and just, you know, be my best version of myself every week.
You know, y'all had 6 sacks against Troy last game. Just how are y'all able to kind of take advantage of that offensive line and just be able to kind of terrorize the quarterback?
That's all credit to our D staff. You know, they always up here till 3 a.m. Making sure that we get put in the best positions to make plays and do that.
And then looking at this Arkansas State offense, just how do y'all, you know, with the success y'all had against Troy, how do y'all replicate that against the Red Bulls?
It's similar to our offense. So, like, we're gonna be focused more on, like, the small details because they can do a lot of, you know, trickery and stuff. But at the same time, we knew if we locked in on our keys, it really ain't much, you know, nobody can really do.
Is there anything you do different for when it's a dual threat quarterback, kind of like Jalen Raynor is, where we've seen some of the guys have success running the ball a little bit on you? Is there anything different with the approach?
No, we realize, like, when people do run on us, it's not because of what they drew up, it's because of us at the end of the day. Like, it's us getting out of gaps. So we've been more focused, like, this week of harping down on, like, you have to be in your right specific gap or we're going to have, you know, what happened last year happen to us again. So we just more focused on that.
You mentioned Coach Bevito a little bit ago, talking about him staying up at night. What's the dynamic like for the defense between Coach McCoyle and Coach Bevito running that defense? Is it more McCoyle's on the back end and Bevito's focused on the pass rush? Everybody's doing both? What's that like?
It's just, you know, everybody coming with ideas, like, of putting their input. So it's not like Coach McCoyle might be the DC, but he also taking input from other coaches. So it's not just Dex just putting himself on a high pedestal. Like, Dex still, at the end of the day, Coach Dex still wants to learn. And he's down to, you know, get everybody other perspective of how we can do that. Because at the end of the day, we want to win.
It's kind of coordinated by committee almost.
Yeah.
You know, Coach Kinney was just talking about, with Coach Graham, who's former coach where he won, said he built a big house because he knew how to get after the quarterback. That's what he liked about his defense. Obviously it's a big emphasis on this defense, getting after the quarterback. How enjoyable is that for someone in your position, where it's just that's the #1 goal, get the quarterback, and that's exactly what you want to do on the D line?
I mean, it start with the quarterback. You take the quarterback out, you make your job a lot easier. So you ain't got to worry about the passing as much. You know, if you take out the quarterback, because he's at the end of the day, he's the first one to touch the ball besides the center. So you take out the commander, you know, everything else is gonna take care of itself.
You know, Brice, you know, you were in North Carolina and then being in Texas, you know, with those two states being really big barbecue places, just, do you have a preference between North Carolina barbecue and Texas barbecue?
Yeah, I gotta be. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all barbecue, I can say, you know, I ain't gonna say which one my favorite, but it's one I hear that, you know, you can see me at a lot.
All right.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys? All right,
Great. All right, thank you, Brice.